Hi, I'm David Chow again. I'm doing another YouTube. The title of this YouTube is "Building Wealth in Real Estate for All Ages." I mean, this can be interesting for many of you. So you can start building wealth in real estate for any ages, when young, middle age, or even retire. So I'm going to go through kind of step by step and how you can achieve that. So uh, yeah, I got this chart, a cash flow quadrant chart. It's actually from the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. I think yes, he's a Hawaiian background. So many years ago, he's one of the guru. Talk about property investment. I yeah, I thought that's a good idea to explain how all this works. So the first one, employee, basically you have a job. You're employee, like most people are employees. You work for the government, you work for the big organization, work for retail, sales. So you're employee. Or secondly, you self-employed. You could be running your own, self-employed in a small way, running a small business like cafeteria, restaurant, retail, selling clothing, that kind of thing. So you actually own a job. You pay yourself a salary. Okay. Obviously, hopefully, the business you're doing is doing okay, and so that you can afford to pay yourself a salary. Third one is business owner. So basically, this is a much in a bigger sort of business sense, like you bought a franchise for KFC, McDonald's, a petrol station, or retail sort of fashion shop, anything like that, or even a franchise for a real estate agency. So you want a system that works for you. So like a McDonald's, I mean, you don't have to be there to actually work. There is a system working, a proven system that is working successfully. So the lastly is the investor. So the good thing about being an investor is the money works for you. So, but basically, Robert Kiyosaki ways he think that employee you go to a self-employed, and self-employed you go to being a big business owner, and then eventually become an investor. But I think every one of you could be an investor. You could be an employee, you could be a self-employed person, and you're a business owner, or could point to as an investor. I don't think it sort of had the other sequence, Robert. So I don't quite kind of agree what he's saying. So there you are. That is a chart that so-called cash flow quadrant. Yeah. Well, I thought it's a good idea to understand a bit of background about how the cash flow, how you turn out to be eventually become an investor. So, but today, well, I believe that anyone, I believe that anyone could be an investor. I mean, you could be working for an organization, you could getting salary, run your own business, self-employed, you run a big business, as long as you got this goal of owning, investing in property, in real estate. It doesn't restrict to, has to be someone with $500,000 cash in the bank. I mean, it's no. So, I mean, the three kind of, I mean, basically, let's start with the three stages. The first stage is when you're young, when you graduate from uni, you finish your high school, you got a good job, get a well-paid job. So I think that is the best time to start setting a goal to invest in property. Secondly, the second stage is people in the middle age, they got married with family, with 2 kids, couple kids, and maybe some in high school, some in uni. And they if both husband and wife are working, they can afford to invest the saving into another property or another property. So that's the second stage. The third stage is for people who actually retire, more senior age. They they done all the hard work. they own their they own their they own their lovely home, and the kids, marry or move out the house. Only left with 2 of them, so they could be another investor in property because they sooner or later they have to look at downsizing. When you downsize, you got the spare. You're going to have the spare cash to do things. I mean, so okay. Let's start with the first stage when you first start working. When you finish your high school, get uni, get a job, get a good income. So I would suggest in that stage to set a goal in real estate investment, because obviously everyone's different. A lot of people would like to go around the world, or they like to buy some fancy car, got high expenses, buy sort of designer clothing, shoe, bag, but yes, obviously that's it's up to you, up to the person. But I think for a young person, it's good to start with some sort of financial goal. You know what I mean? You're starting your life, you're making good money, and why just spend it? Why just spend it all? I mean, I get high income. I mean, so a lot of time people get good wages, but their expenses also very high. So basically, they don't save money. They got multiple credit card. They go out, fancy restaurant, exotic holidays. Fancy car. They just spend it all. I mean, when you're young, well, I think you should have a goal of trying to get some sort of financial goal. What you're going to, somewhere down a couple like 5, 10 years, 20 years down the track, what do you want to achieve? You can't be just still partying, spending all this money when, after 10, 20 years, when you're 30, 40 years, I mean, where your friends has already got 1 or 2 investment properties somewhere. So bear in mind. So it's good to set your financial goal when you first start working. That's how I started. I mean, I might get some sort of probably got some interest from my parent, my dad. He was kind of into real estate when he was in Singapore, Malaysia. So he started putting some old building and put up 3 or 4 story hotel. So from there, I suppose I have my interest in kind of property, real estate. And I did civil engineering that's kind of related to building, architecture kind of thing. So there you are. Yeah. So I think it's best to set a goal. I think financial goals is important at this stage. I think, and once you set a goal, what you want to achieve into real estate investment, you got to have a passion, enthusiastic, and and have and read up or gain knowledge on property investment, and look at different kind of properties. Go and look at houses, apartments, condominium, and build up some sort of knowledge on this topic. I mean, you can't. I mean, I attend a lot of real estate conferences, seminar. I talk to a lot of real estate people. I talk to developers, builders. So from there, you gain knowledge. I mean, it's something that you don't always learn it at the college or uni. So yeah, and you must, once you set a goal that yes, I would like to buy some investment property like next year. I would like to save up at least 10 or 20% deposit. Then you commit to it. Forget about going out to restaurant with your rich friend, or forget about buying a fancy sports car just to impress your friend or girlfriends, and forget about going away on holiday. You can do all that later. you can. I'm sure you can do that later when you build a portfolio of properties. I mean, you can sell one and go away. So and you must be committed, and not to be distracted. So that is initially, and get into it. Save up. You might even have to get a second job. I mean, nowadays we talk about diversification of income, income stream, not just be your main job. You can get into IT, selling stuff through Amazon, eBay. There's so many ways of it's a new way of making money, new way of doing things. Get into Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, the whole way of, for you to these latest, using the latest technology to make money. I think in the old days, maybe you actually get a second job, like at night in a restaurant or something, But now there's this new way of doing things, new way of making money, like with the IT technologies, internet. So yeah, and yes, you must have, you should have the diversified income stream. Okay, and get into buying your first property as soon as possible. I mean, once you save up about 20% deposit, for example, once you save up 100,000, maybe you get some money from your family. Once you have like 100,000 saving, go and actually purchase a property. I know, don't sort of, don't overdoing it, buying your dream home. It's like, no, you're never going to. Your first house is not going to be your dream home. Just do it, and you got 20% deposit. You can borrow 80% from the bank. I mean, you got a good job. Any bank in Australia or anywhere, in America or Canada or Malaysia, Singapore, they will lend it to you. Because your LVR, loan value ratio is low, reasonable. 80% is fine, you know. I mean, if you're a doctor or dentist here in Australia, the bank will lend 90% to you because because in the medical field, they would have no problem lending you 90% because they know that you're going to make good money in the long run. So do that, and I mean, I think the best thing is to actually, if you just started, you got a job, you're staying with family, or stay around with your friend, like renting a room with your friend, and that's the best way. And you can rent out your first investment property with collecting rental income. I mean, that is the best scenario. That's the best situation to be in. So do that, and after 8 or 10 years, your $500, 500,000 or $500,000 worth of property is after 8 or 10 years in Melbourne, and also in Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, and Gold Coast. I think they all would go up in double the value in 8 or 10 years. So basically, your $500,000 property have in 10 years time, 8 or 10 years time, it's gone up to 1 million. So, and that is the time after 8 years, that is the time to look at the, because your equity in that property, it's gone from $500,000 to 1 million. So your share of the your net share of the property was 600, and your LVR has now become 40%. So you could easily go to the bank and say, look, what a bank, any bank in Australia, they will lend it to you, and you like another investment loan because you think of buying another property. So imagine you purchase another property worth about 800,000. So okay, so your initial property, the original property is 1 million, 800 to 1.8 million, and the bank lend you another million plus the originally you imagine, so you pay off instead of 400, you pay down to 300. So the bank, your new loan is 1.3 million, but then your two properties worth 1.8 million. So your LVR is about what, 65-70%. The bank won't have a problem with that, So basically, you can just use this principle and just keep on doing it. I mean, the bank is not going to be silly. They will evaluate your situation. If they think it's too risky for them, they will say no. But I would think that you wouldn't have a problem. I mean, don't just stick to one bank. I mean, that's 10 or 20 banks, even bank from overseas. So yeah, so that is the way to do it. I mean, basically, as people say, there's a good debt and there's a bad debt. Borrowing the money from the bank and investing in property is a good debt, because the thing is, the item that you have purchased, you'll go up in value. Up. I mean, the bad debt is you borrow 100,000 and purchase yourself a new luxury car, and that's going to be bad debt because the items go down in value every year. 10 years time is worth nothing. So I mean, remember, there's a good death and there's bad death. So, I mean, the two property that you own, and 1 million, you got more than 500,000 worth of net assets in there. Say another 10 years, so it go up to almost 4 million, and you only own 10. You probably by then you pay down a bit. You owe the bank about 1 million. So the two property is worth 4 million. Out of that, your share is 3 million. The bank, it's belong to you. I mean, if you sold any of the property, you just pay the bank back, and you got the rest of money belong to you. The title is on the title may be yours. So, I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, the bank, as long as they get their share, that's it. They're happy. But you get your major share because it's registered on your name. So there you are. So with that principle, it can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. I mean, no. Whether you in Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, or Malaysia, Singapore, you can't go wrong because it proven, Singapore, it proven the property value goes up and up, because basically because of migration, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, USA, Canada, they all have a big migration program. People, so-called urbanization, people from the country come and live in the city to find jobs. That's where they job, uni, hospital, healthcare, in the big city. So they have to come. They have to come to the city to live and buy, rent a property, eventually or purchase property. So that is not going to change. That is not going to change. I mean, Australia is like, like Singapore, like America, like New Zealand, Canada. We got a big immigration program because, country like Australia have low birth rate. So to support the growth of the economy, we need immigration. Immigrant from outside the country. So okay. So as I say, when you start young, when you got a job, I think the best thing is to get right into, have a goal, set your mind in the property, real estate investment, and stick to it. You won't go wrong. I mean, you can use the same principle. You got 40 years of life working. You can use the same principle and achieve your real financial goal. By the time you retire, you would own about 5, 6, or 7 property worth about 6, 7, 8 million. So I mean, by then you can buy your dream car, go away for your exotic holidays, and hang out with your rich friend. You can do what you like. I mean, it's so you have done it. You have achieved it. So don't be. I think that's the main thing. You stick to your plan, and you're passionate in doing it, and eventually you'll happen. As simple as that. It's okay. When you're in the midlife, basically it means that you are maybe you're for 30, 40s. You got kids still maybe in high school or uni. I mean, if you just smart kids, that you don't have to. They don't have to go to private school. I mean, imagine you got two kids. They're smart. They I mean, instead of going to send them to a private school, cost about 30,000 each. They go to a local school. Some of the local schools got great result. In fact, some of them better than private school. I mean, a lot of private schools just prestigious, hang around with the Jones, hang around with the people that who think that they have make it. But the thing is, I mean, your kids is independent. Your kids is do it yourself. They're not sort of they're not being spoon fed. Yeah. So instead of going to the private school, they can go to government school, save 60,000 a year. Imagine that $60,000 a year save up, and you after a couple of years you can put a down payment for your next investment property for the family or the next one. I mean, imagine you're saving 50,000 a year. 4 years you already have about 200,000. You can easily buy one every couple of years, and I mean, you got two kids, you can buy one each in 10 years. So you can purchase two property and give it under the name. I mean, it's just it's as simple as that. It's not a rocket science. I'm trying to say, and you don't need an MBA degree to understand that. I mean, any family would anyone would understand. So that is your midlife situation. And the third stage is when you retire. When you're over 60, 65, 70, and you're not working anymore. But the thing is, you don't need to work anymore. I mean, okay. So assuming you haven't. So that's. Yeah. Assuming that your children has moved out, they're no longer living with you in the house. You got a big house worth about $2 million, 4-bedroom and 3-bathroom, whatever, and you probably think that, gee, it's a lot of work to do, isn't it? Gardening, mowing the lawn, tidy up the house every week, and just kind of a lot of laboring work, isn't it? So most of the time, a lot of people start to think of downsizing. So basically, well, it's a good time to get yourself a smaller house, a smaller unit. So imagine the house that you stay worth about, 4-bedroom house, 2-story, worth about $2 million. So you can downsize and purchase a unit, condominium or some sort of unit. Imagine 800,000, almost close to $1 million, and you have $1.2 million spare, okay, and you can use and 1.2 million, and you can basically you can buy two flats or units or condominium for 2-bedroom, $600,000 each, easily, even in Melbourne. in a good location, 2-bedroom. Yes, brand new. A lot of those high-rise condominium, 40, 50, 60 story here in Melbourne, most of them, they got swimming pool, outdoor, indoor, gym as well, and some of them got childcare, recreation room. So 600,000 buy you a perfect a new condominium, no problem in Melbourne. I mean, okay, in the CBD too. So, well, with that, the two investment property you have, assume you rent it out for $400 a week, you get about $40,000 income a year. Okay, plus you have your superannuation because you've been working for the last 40 years. You contribute to a super. So basically, you every week you have more than $1,000, maybe $1,500 to spend. $1,500 cash to spend. Plus your own, while you're staying in your own home. Now it's home worth about more closer to $1 million. So you can do what you like. I mean, $1.5 million a week, that's a lot of money. Hey, you can buy yourself a new sports car. You can go to, Europe for a holiday. Go to some Pacific islands for, for a week holiday here from Melbourne easily, or go to Bali, Southeast Asia, China, Philippines, Thailand. You can do that every year. I mean, I hate to say that. You could go away holiday every year. I mean, you get about $80,000 a year income. I mean, you can do you get more than $1,500 a week. So there you are. I mean, that is a good thing about because you have planned well and you have done well and you achieve it. Okay, that is a big difference. Okay. I mean, what you do with the money is fine. I mean, you don't feel like going overseas every year. Well, look, share some of them, some of the money you have is donate some of the money to charity. Go out with your friends. Go out with some of your rich friends. It's pick up some new hobbies like golf or lawn bowl. I mean the possibility is unlimited because you do not have any financial restriction. I mean, obviously you can't just go and buy yourself a Rolls Royce for a $300,000. I mean that's probably beyond that's not what I mean. But you could easily buy yourself a $80,000 sort of Mercedes. At that stage. So anyway, to wrap it up, I think my main point is that plan ahead, start young. Start when you just start when you finish your uni, high school, when you got a good job. Plan to invest, save money, and save your money to invest in property. And once you get yourself into the property, the process owning the next property and next property it's I had to use the word it's a piece of cake, but it's simple. It's not it kind of sounds complicated when you first get into it, but once you've done one, it's easy. I mean, the process, the procedure, the documents, and the kind of things need to provide to the bank, it's simple. It's just once you've done one, you got no problem doing the next one, buying the third one, the fourth one. So, as people say, to make, and so obviously, if you just self-employed, spend all your money just working, getting only one job, just not thinking ahead, not getting into some sort of real estate investment. The goal of owning more property, then you just end up as that, like anyone else. They're happy, they're contented. That's fine. I mean, people, everyone's different, isn't it? I mean, no. It's up to you to decide what you want in life, isn't it? Okay. Well, I think, I'll stop here. I think, I think it's if you like this content of this YouTube, please subscribe and give me a thumb up. I mean, I am passionate about explaining to other people how to do it. If I can do it, I mean, I don't have a lot of inheritance from the family. I mean, I worked hard when I was young, and I gave up a lot of luxury, like going out with my friends, going to expensive restaurant. I don't go to casino. I'll go on cheap holiday, maybe go to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Vietnam, Thailand, or something. But nowadays I don't go to, far away places, where you have to spend thousands and you have to stay, sort of hotel, 3 or 4 or 5-star hotel. No, I think I'm happy as this. So, but I'm happy to share. So if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, as people say, it's hard to make your first million. Okay, it might take you 20 years, 30 years, but to make this next million, from 1 million, 2 million, it'll be a quarter time, and then and that next million, it'll be, instead of 10 years, it'll be short than 3 or 4 years. I mean, once you know how to do it, and I reckon real estate investment is the way anyone can do it. As long as you set a goal and don't be distracted from it, and with determination, work hard, you'll succeed. Okay, please subscribe and watch out for my next video, my next YouTube. Hope you enjoy it, and give me I need some comment too. If you got some new idea, you get some idea, or you agree, or you like what I'm talking about, please comment and give me support. Thank you and good night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.